Hello, hello, hello. I am just popping in here on your lunch break, checking in to see if anyone has any questions. Um, Allow me to introduce myself. I am Karen with Curl House. I am a licensed cosmetologist, a certified trichologist, and the owner of the Curl House product line. So I just decided, you know what? I am just going to pop in and check on my Curl House community and see if you all have any questions about anything at all about your hair growth, about your hair that's not growing, about how to get your hair to grow, about products. So, hello for those of you all who are joining me. This is just my impromptu Ask Me Anything. So, if you got any questions about anything, this is your opportunity to ask. But before you ask me some questions, can you tell me who's in the room? Who has popped in? Who's in the room? Hey, Pam. Hello, Pam. Let's see. Pam, where are you from? I'm gonna go ahead and show your question because hey, you asked the first question, so you're gonna get the first response. Why does my hair break off when blow drying? So, in terms of your hair breaking off when blow drying, first thing I would ask is, are you using a heat protector? Hey, Pam from Baltimore. Hey, not too far from me. Hey, Miss Lawana. If it's breaking off when you blow dry, that could be several reasons. One, what type of blow dryer are you using? Are you using a blow dryer where the heat, where it is too high, should not be burning your scalp? But if it's breaking off when you're blow drying, then it might be the blow dryer that you are using. So I would suggest if you are using a blow dryer that's burning your scalp, that's too hot, turn the temperature down a little bit. Make sure you are putting some type of heat protector on your hair before you blow dry it. Oh, it's a brush blow dryer. Well, that in and of itself, Pam, I don't like brush blow dryers. Not at all. A brush blow dryer, a brush. I'm not a big brush person in general. I typically use a detangling comb. So if it's a brush blow dryer and it has a brush attachment, I would not use a brush blow dryer for a few reasons, depending on the type of when you're brushing your hair. Do I have a brush? Let's see. Hmm. When you're brushing your hair, all right, I don't have a brush at my hands, but we're going to make it seem like this is this brush. When you're brushing your hair, you should be brushing your, hold on. Y'all know I can't help myself. Let me bring her in here. This Tanika, y'all. When you're brushing your hair, hold on, let me just go get a brush. I have a brush. All right. It looks dark. Does it look dark, y'all? It looks dark to me. I don't know what type of brush dryer you have, Pam, but we're going to use this as an example. When you're brushing your hair, a brush blow dryer you may use it in this direction. I recommend you brush your hair in a vertical direction. So you're brushing your hair like this, as opposed to doing it like this. So that's one tip. If you like that brush dryer, do it in a vertical direction, which is the same direction that your hair lays. So try it like that. In terms of the brush, make sure you're putting a thermal protector on your hair as well. And make sure that you are being gentle with the brush when you're brushing your hair, because brushes, my experience, for me, I don't like brushes because I see a lot of hair in the brush as opposed to taking my time using a detangling comb. So if you're using that brush dryer, again, make sure you are doing it in the vertical direction. If you can use that brush, I'm not sure what type of dryer you have, but if you can use that brush and do it in a vertical direction, do it in the direction that your hair lays, that may help with the breakage. Make sure you are using a thermal protector or a great leave-in conditioner before putting that heat to your hair as well. Okay, great. You said, okay, Pam, Glad I answered your question. Let's see. Miss Luana, is it best to blow dry your hair before trimming the ends to see the damage more? If you are trimming your hair yourself, absolutely. Yes, you do not have to blow dry your hair to do a trim. If you are a hairstylist, many hairstylists can see the ends, but it's easier even for hairstylists if the hair is blow dried out. It's easier to see how much split ends you have. Some people will trim hair curly, but I suggest that if you have a trained eye, so if you're doing it yourself, then I recommend you blow dry the hair out so that you can see the ends better. Let's see. This gray hair with frizz ends help. This gray hair with frizzy ends. I think that's what you're saying, Miss Davis. This gray hair with frizzy ends help. Okay, it took me a moment. So are you saying that your gray hair has frizzy ends? And can I help a sister out? I think that's what you're saying. Okay, if that's the case, if you have gray hair and your ends are frizzy, I get you. So your ends can be frizzy for different reasons. Gray hair in and of itself is like it just behaves differently. Gray hair, the ends of your hair, whether or not you are gray or not, it's just the oldest part of your hair, like period. It's the oldest part of your hair, so it is the most susceptible to damage. Now, gray hair is another level. So with gray hair and the frizzy ends, you want to first make sure you're getting your ends trimmed. In general, make sure you get your ends trimmed. Two, make sure you are sealing your ends. Make sure you are putting a cream, a butter, something on your ends that's going to keep those frizzies at bay. And you want to know a product recommendation? A product recommendation that will help to smooth those ends. This is the product that I recommend. This is the Sealer Super Moisture Cream. It's the product that I developed specifically for that reason, Miss Davis. When I went gray, can you see my gray? When I went gray, my hair was so dry. My ends were different. My texture was different. It didn't matter what I put in it. My hair just seemed, it couldn't get moisture. It stayed frizzy. So I developed this cream, the Super Moisture Cream by Curl House, the sealer, because it locks in the moisture. It seals the ends to minimize the frizzy. So that is the Curl House Sealer Cream is the product that I recommend. So make sure you are moisturizing your ends and sealing in those ends with a cream or with the oil to help keep the frizzies at bay. And make sure you are getting your ends trimmed too if they are split. Okay. So Pam, you said a comb is better. Yeah, I prefer, this question is around blow drying the hair. Is it better to use a brush or a comb? I recommend using a comb, a blow dryer with a comb. If it's attached. If it's not attached, then you can use a comb as you're drying it, or you can use a nice big paddle brush. If you are going to use a brush, you can use a paddle brush and use a dryer with a concentrator to brush it. But again, be mindful of how you brush it. Let's see. I see your questions. I'm just going through them. My sister and I are perimenopause and edges are thinning. Perimenopausal. Oh, Miss Patty, I understand. I am too. Oh, perimenopause. Out of all the things we got to go through, our hair challenges is just one of them. So what's going on with perimenopause? Our hormones are changing. Our estrogen levels are dropping. After 50, your estrogen levels can decrease by 50%, and your estrogen is what helps keep your hair in that growing cycle. So you may be dealing with the thinning edges. It's my screen. I don't know why this y'all, I'm sorry. I'm getting blurry. Why am I getting blurry? I have upgraded my camera. There we go. All right, y'all can see me. The blurring is gone. So if you're dealing with thinning edges and they're thinning badly, the first thing with perimenopause, I always recommend, you all know I recommend taking the internal approach. So eat some phytoestrogen food. So as I already said, the estrogen levels are decreasing. So you want to compensate or replace what's decreasing in your body by eating phytoestrogen foods. So foods that will help to mimic the estrogen in your body. And most of those foods are your whole fruits and vegetables. You all look that up, phytoestrogen foods. That's going to help internally with your perimenopause. In terms of what you can do topically, you can apply products to the scalp to help to improve growth in that area. One of the products that I recommend, Curl House has the Healer. Oh, I don't even have it right here. The Healer Scalp Serum. You can apply that to your scalp and massage it in. And there's a question about a derma roller. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But the thinning edges, once you can help get your body balance internally, it's going to help with the edges. So focus on that internal phytoestrogen foods. It's a whole list of things that I can recommend, but we're going to focus on one for today. Phytoestrogen foods, look that up. And then topically massage the area, apply products that's going to help support growth, like the Curl House Healer Drops, Scalp Drops. You can go to my website, curlhouse.com. You can even use I think I have a coupon code out there. That's it, a coupon code. Oh, that ticker thing drives me nuts. Let me see. Let's do this one. Here we go. You can use this, curlhouse.com, and get 15% off. That's the Healer Drops. And in addition to that, we had another question, and it's going to follow up with using the product. Another thing that you can do, how to use a derma roller. I'm going to pull that up. Now, I did a live last week, and I demonstrated how to use it. So I am going to go and get this derma roller and answer this question and demonstrate how to use it. So let's do this. Let's put this on. And let's see. Where is that question? I just saw it on the derma roller. Hold on, let me find it. Here we go. Hold on. I got to get it, Tamara, so I can show you. Okay, if you all are dealing with hair loss, even the person that asked about, thinning edges, what you can do to support your thinning edges. This is a derma roller or a micro needle. There's a question, how often? Well, you know, you said how often do you use it, not how to use it. But since I have it out, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to use it, because I want to make sure you're using it correctly, you all, because you can damage your scalp if you do not use this correctly. So a derma roller, again, is used to support hair growth. If your scalp is tender, do not use it. If your scalp is inflamed, do not use it. Only use it, to answer the question, only use it once a week. That is it. Do not use it every day, once a week, because what it does, it should not hurt. You know, it is needles. It's over 500 very small needles, but it should not hurt. But what it's doing, it's doing a couple things. So it is creating little wounds. It's creating wounds in your scalp. And what that does is telling your body that, oh my gosh, I have wounds in the scalp. So I need your cells to start regenerating in that area to heal that area. And that is why you should not use it every day. That is why you have to give your body time to actually address the wounds or to heal that area. Don't use it every day, once a week. And real quick, how you use it, I recommend create a very small part, wherever you're using it. I'm just using her as an example, and do it in one direction 10 times and just on the scalp, just on the scalp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then turn it in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And do whatever area you're doing, do the entire area. Do not press down hard. It should not hurt. Do it once a week. Make sure you clean it with alcohol after each use and make a part. Okay. I think I said that correct. And make sure your scalp is not inflamed. So many people are getting this and tearing their scalp up because they're using it wrong. Oh, and another thing, make sure the needles of your derma roller are anywhere between 0.5 or 0.75. You don't want it to the needles too large, and you don't want them too small. Okay. All right. Hope that answers your question, Tamara. Let's see. Somebody else asked the question. You said you should, once you said your hair should be trimmed twice a year. I'm getting mine trimmed in May. When should I get the next trim? Miss Lawana, your hair can be trimmed more than twice a year. Twice a year is the minimum. A minimum of twice a year. I typically recommend about once a quarter. So 3 to 4 times a year is what I recommend. 3 to 4 times a year. So you're getting them, but check your ends. If you are someone that keeps your hair like in protective styles, if you're not doing, or low manipulation styles, if you're not touching your hair, if you're not manipulating your hair a lot, then you may be okay getting it trimmed 3 times a year or twice a year. So if you're getting yours trimmed in May, then 3 to 4 months after May, whatever that is, in the fall, check the ends again and see if you need to get them trimmed again. But again, you're just trimming a little bit. A little bit. Can I add the serum immediately after rolling, or wait a day? Great question, Tamara. Immediately following, after you use that derma roller. And why you want to do it immediately? Because that derma roller, it does 2 things. As I said, it puts the wounds in the scalp so that the scalp can heal, so that it's more cellular regeneration in that area that'll help your hair grow. And then 2, that also those wounds also create entryways for whatever growth active or whatever serum that you are putting on your scalp to penetrate further into your scalp. So that is why you put it on immediately after. Make sure the area is clean as possible. Another tip, a micro needle, and apply the serum immediately after. Great question. Ms. Dion, do you have any advice for someone telling someone with alopecia totalis possibly due for inflammation? So in terms of alopecia totalis, first, make sure you go to your doctor. Always recommend that. Due to inflammation, when you have alopecia areata, which is, and totalis is a form of alopecia areata due to inflammation, the goal, Miss Dion, is to address that inflammation. And that is where you have to go hard with the inflammation. Where is the inflammation? How are you addressing it? So I know if you go to a dermatologist, of course, they're going to give you topicals, which is fine, but you really have to address the inflammation in the body. Why do you have the inflammation in the body? Where's the inflammation coming from? And what can you do to minimize the inflammation in your body? And are you taking a, what is it? The blood work to determine the inflammation in the body is the C protein reactive. Is that right? Yeah, CPR. C protein reactive is one of the tests that you can determine the inflammation in your body. What do you do to really address the inflammation in the body? What I would recommend that you do, in addition to what your dermatologist is recommending, I would go to someone who specializes in nutrition, you all. You know, at Curl House, I really believe in growing differently and taking this different approach to really growing your hair, but focusing on your body, because your body, it's what really feeds the hair for the most part. So if you are going to a nutritionist, If you do not have one, identify a nutritionist that's going to help you get on an anti-inflammatory diet to help you to decrease the inflammation within your body. And then you can also, if you're taking supplementation, turmeric is one that I recommend. Turmeric helps fight the inflammation in the body. Actually, I just posted a video on this, I believe on Saturday, that I started taking turmeric last year for the inflammation. So there are different types of inflammation, you all. It's inflammation that you can feel, and it's inflammation and microinflammation that you can't feel, which is why if you get some blood work done, the blood work will actually help you to determine the level of inflammation within your body. But there's some inflammation you can't feel, and it's some that you can. Regardless, the turmeric will help with that. In addition to that, the alopecia totalis, it's the thing with alopecia areata, it is so unpredictable. So what is predictable about it is that it is unpredictable. So in other words, your hair can be growing and it's fine, and then sometimes your hair may just come out. All of that is due to the inflammation. So speak with the nutritionist beyond what your doctor, in addition, rather, to what your doctor is sharing. Speak with a nutritionist and to focus on that inflammation within the body. And also consider red light therapy. That's something, Dion, you can look up. Red light therapy. I might have something over here. Red light therapy helps with inflammation, helps to reduce the inflammation of the scalp, because if there's inflammation in the scalp, inflammation in the body, then there may be inflammation on the scalp as well. So I want you to look up red light therapy as well. So remember, internal and external nutrition for the body. Turmeric, of course, you can put turmeric in your foods. You can take a turmeric supplement. Internal and external. For the scalp, I want you to consider red light therapy, and of course, topical products such as the Healer Curl House Follicle Stimulating Drops may help topically. Let's see. Hey, Sweets. Hey, Winnie. How do I feel about hair grease? That's a good question. I'm not opposed to hair grease. I do not throw hair grease under the bus. I don't do it. I'm not opposed to hair grease. First, let's talk about hair grease for the hair. Hair grease for the hair, it's an excellent sealer. Yes, it is super greasy. And if you have fine hair, it could definitely weigh your hair down in terms of hair grease for the hair. But I'm not opposed to it. It's an excellent sealer. Like before I developed my moisture cream, before I developed this to moisturize the hair grease was one of my favorite sealers. It would keep my hair moisturized for days. Not the grease. The grease in and of itself is not what keeps your hair moisturized for days. It's what locks in the moisture. I would apply I would apply my moisturizer product to it and then put the grease on top of it. But it really, really kept my hair moisturized for days. It is great. So I don't have an issue with grease in that regard. Now let's talk about grease for the scalp. Grease for the scalp is a little different. Now it all depends on your scalp. Everyone's scalp is different. Grease for the scalp, it is heavy. It does have a comedogenic rating of, is it 1 or 0, which means it's a low likelihood that it will clog your scalp. However, that doesn't mean you put grease on your scalp all the time. Grease in and of itself, when you're putting it on your scalp, it is going to build up. If you're putting grease and then you're putting your moisture cream on your hair, and you're putting your styling products on your hair, and then you go outside and you're dealing with the elements in the air, all of that can clog the scalp. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So putting too much grease for the scalp, that's an issue if you're applying it too much. If you are someone who's dealing with an imbalanced scalp, so your scalp may be producing too much sebum and you're adding more grease to it, that is going to make it worse. Which is why generally speaking, I don't run to the grease. I don't encourage a lot of grease because everyone's situation is different. But if your scalp is relatively normal and you apply a little grease once a week, I don't think that's an issue. The issue is when you are applying it a lot and you are disrupting your scalp's microbiome. In other words, your the scalp's environment. You can disrupt the scalp's microbiome by putting a lot of grease and a lot of heavy oils. And the issue with that, beyond that, is we're not shampooing our hair enough. If we apply grease and we're shampooing our hair regularly, that's one thing, but we ain't doing that. So our scalp is dry. Our scalp is dry, and a dry scalp, slapping oil or slapping grease on over a chronically dry scalp only exacerbates your scalp issues and create more inflammation. And when you have more inflammation of the scalp, then guess what else you have? You have hair growth issues. So I know that was a long answer. I know that's a long answer. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm not opposed to it at all for the hair, but getting in the habit of constantly greasing your scalp, I think that's an issue because we're not cleansing our hair enough. We're not cleansing our scalp enough. It's building up and it's creating more inflammation of the scalp. If people apply a little bit of grease, if the scalp feels a little tight, you apply a little bit of grease. Okay. But again, what happens is our scalp is dry because it's not moisturized. And when it's not moisturized, that is when it creates more scalp issues. We need moisture of our scalp. This year, I am so focused on moisture of the scalp. That is the issue. Moisture of the scalp. Let me go get something, you all. So this is why when you said you use the drops, this is what Winnie's referring to. These are my Healer follicle stimulating drops, and what they are water-based. They are extracts. It's not oil, contrary to what people think. It's not oil. There's no oil in here. And I did this on purpose because our scalps are chronically dry, and with our chronically dry scalp, we're not moisturizing it enough. Our scalp is dry. It creates inflammation of the scalp, and then we have hair loss issues. So that is why I developed these in lieu of hair grease, because greasing the scalp, I know it's something that we do, greasing the scalp, that can lead to a host of issues depending on your scalp. But this is the Healer. This is what I was talking about. Thank you for that question. You are welcome. See, and that's why I decided this year, you all, I am going live and I'm just going to do some of these Ask Me Anythings. Maybe I'll do a whole session on microneedling. I may even do that because a few people have asked me that, because there's so much information out here in these YouTube streets that we'll get part of the information. So when I taught my Let's Get Growing program, I made sure that I had a session on all types of hair restoration techniques like these tools, because it's so much information out here to go out and get a derma roller. Derma rolling is not new. People use it for their skin to help with collagen production. And guess what scalp is? Scalp is skin. So what it does to the face, it does the same thing to the scalp, because scalp is skin. We tend to separate the two. Don't let me go down that road, because I can go down that road as it relates to our all of this skin, but not this skin. We treat this skin differently than everything else, and we shouldn't, because it's still skin. But that is why I want to make sure in my YouTube community that these things that you all are purchasing, you are using them correctly. So you can go out and get the microneedle because somebody told you that it helps with hair growth, and then it creates more damage than good because you don't know what you're doing. And you're doing it too often, and you're destroying your scalp because you're not doing it properly. So I'm glad that you learned how to do it, Tamara. I probably went in a little more detail in my last live last week. Somebody else asked this question. But anyway, you are very welcome, you all. Very, very welcome. Let's see. Hi, greetings from Denmark, the Wash and Go Chick. Hey, Wash and Go Chick. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Uh, hey, Miss Antoinette. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pam, do I have a shop? No, I don't. Oh, I closed my salon. So no, I stopped. I haven't. I am licensed. I am licensed, you all, but I actually retired from actually styling hair. It's been 4 years. Oh, in 2022. And I just did it quietly. I didn't have a whole, hey, I'm done celebrating my stylist career. I didn't do any of that. I just did it kind of quietly because actually I transitioned into I did transition into trichology where I started treating clients specifically with hair loss. And I did that in person. And then I transitioned again into doing it online, and that's what I'm doing now. So I do not have a hair salon, but if you are in the Richmond, Virginia area, Pam, I can send you some recommendations to some hairstylists I recommend. You can send me an email to info@curlhouse.com and I can send you some recommendations. Is the derma roller good for people with alopecia areata? Yes, we did talk about that. Yes, you can use the derma roller for alopecia areata as well. And I don't know, Momo, um, if you're dealing with alopecia areata, I did speak earlier about some of the other things that you can do for alopecia areata. Alopecia areata is an inflammatory hair loss for people who do not know, where inflammation pretty much attacks the hair follicle and causes hair loss. Alopecia areata is very unpredictable. What is predictable about it is that it's unpredictable. So many people will get it as a child. It may not surface again until they're in their 20s or 30s. So some people will get it once and it doesn't surface again. If you have little circles on your scalp, typically it will start as a circle and it could spread. So it's a different pattern for each person. If you have it, if you suspect you have it, go see a dermatologist immediately. But yes, you can when your scalp is not inflamed. Yes, you can. I'm going to do a session on the different types of, there are other things that you all can do, ladies, for hair loss. I am going to do a session on that. The reason I'm not going into a lot of detail now, even for your question, Momo, is because when you're using advanced hair loss treatments and tools, you have to use them correctly. And I don't want to put out any information. I don't want to tell you to do something without telling you exactly how to do it. So stay tuned. That's coming soon. And you all like and share this video. I'm supposed to say this. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, you all. I'm on my way to 100,000 subscribers, you all, and I want my plaque. Okay. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hey, Karen, does your shampoo make the scalp tingle? Because I love that feeling. Yes, Miss Lawana, it does. It will make your scalp tingle. Not too much, though, not too much. But it does have rosemary and peppermint and lavender essential oils in it that help to make that scalp tingle, AKA helps to increase the circulation of your scalp. So yes, it does. And Miss Lawana, I know you asked about my shampoo. You can actually use code YT15 to get 15% off that shampoo. Hello, this person. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. I love having my channel is, I always say it's women, but it's a few good men. So we want you here too. So thank you for joining, HL. Okay, let's see. Y'all got me going. Yes, I am. Great advice. Each one of my strands appear a different length. And there's always new growth. Will my hair ever be this even length? Well, stay positive. Your hair grows at different rates. So it's not uncommon for your hair to be different lengths. Now, in terms of it being even, it may not be an even length because your hair grows in cycles. And in terms of the hair cycle, let's see, you have your growing cycle, which is the anagen stage. So you have your growing cycle, your resting cycle, catagen, and your, hold on, let me bring that back. You have your growth cycle, anagen, where most of your hair, about 85% of your hair is growing. And then you have catagen, where it is transitioning, where it stops growing. And then you have telogen, where it's resting. And then the last one, it actually falls out. So those cycles are not synchronized. So because they're not synchronized, it's not all happening at the same time. Each strand may be in a different cycle in general. So if your hair is different lengths, there's always new growth. That's good. That means it's always growing. Will it ever be even? It may not be. It may not be exactly even. Now, it should not look in general, it should not look even, should not look incredibly uneven. It should be relatively even. So that is I do wonder when you say your hair is not even. So my hair, I can say this area grows, this is a different growth site. This grows slower. It's always grown slower. The front of my hair has always grown slower. My hair's never been even. You know how you see people with those nice beautiful, even bobs. I've never had that. I could never have that because my hair never grew at the same rate. So it may not be exactly even, stay positive, but it should not be all over the place. And also, in addition to that, your curl pattern may be different. So you could have one side of your hair where your curls are tighter, another side of your hair where your curls are looser. So if one side is looser, it could look uneven because this side is tighter, this side is looser. You want to know how I know that? I was in a hair salon many, many years ago and I did a trim on straight hair. The trim looked fabulous. The trim was even. The lady came back to the salon the next day and said, Karen, you cut my hair uneven. And I thought, oh no, I didn't. I know I didn't cut your hair uneven. And then it occurred to me, oh, it wasn't my haircut. It looks uneven because your curl pattern is different. So I had to go in and cut the hair or trim the hair so that it looked even. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let me bring it back in. So I say all that to say, stay positive. If your hair is growing, if it's not the exact same length, make sure it's not breaking off. So if you are taking care of your hair, if you are keeping it moisturized, right? If you are taking an internal approach, making sure you are drinking your water, making sure your body is balanced so that the hair grows out healthy. If you are doing all of those things and your hair is not breaking off and it's not even, that's okay. It may not ever be even as long as it's healthy. And there is a style or a shape that you can get that's going to make your hair look even or look shapely. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Oh, I'm going. Okay, let's see. Going down the list. Besides a anti-inflammatory diet, what do you suggest for alopecia, specifically alopecia areata? Okay, so in terms of, I was saying wash and go chick, there are some things, the anti-inflammatory diet, the turmeric, there are some advanced hair solutions that you can consider. I want you all to look up. Let me grab this. Okay, wash and go chick. I want you to look this up. Okay. This is, oh, I don't think it's, okay, it's dead. But if it weren't dead, you would see red. You would see a red light. This one is by Hair Max. I want you to look up low-level light therapy. I want you to look that up. Low-level light therapy in terms of alopecia areata. I want you to look this up. Low-level light therapy and red light therapy. Look that up. Typically, it will have a red light. The red light does many things to the hair follicle. It helps to reduce that inflammation. Remember, alopecia areata is also inflammatory. It's autoimmune as well. So it's triggered by your immune system, but it will attack the hair follicle. Look up low-level light therapy for alopecia areata. Okay, you got that? Look it up. And the reason I'm saying look it up is because I could do a whole session on that. I don't have time to do it now, but consider that as well. Alopecia areata is autoimmune. Your immune system is attacking the follicle. So if your immune system is attacking the follicle, if it's the immune system, then you have to address what's going on with the immune system. Most hair loss, most of the things that's going on within our body happens within our gut. I believe it's 70% the last time I read. What happens is within the gut. So address it there, which is why I really promote that anti-inflammatory diet, and because that focuses on your immune system. But in terms of topical things, I want you to look up low level light therapy. I think I said earlier, alopecia areata is inflammatory. I meant to say, in addition to that, when I explained it, it's autoimmune. That's the word. So apologies earlier if I didn't explain that properly. It's autoimmune. So your immune system is where you attack it, your immune system. Because again, your immune system is attacking your hair follicles, saying, oh my God, this is foreign. Something about the hair follicles and the growth of the hair follicles and cellular regeneration is foreign. So it's going to attack it and destroy it. That's how you have to address it at the root. You have to get to the root. So while topical things will help with inflammation created at the hairline, it doesn't affect the immune system, which is why that anti-inflammatory diet, which is why connecting with a dermatologist or a nutritionist is going to be key. But again, I want you to go. This is the company. There are different companies that create this. This is just the one I was trained on. This is the one that I like. This one is relatively affordable. This one is by Hair Max. Go to Hair Max, look it up. Wash and go chick. Okay. Let's see. Sonia, my hair is like a sponge. I use the LCO, which is liquid cream oil method, but my hair is dry. Help. Okay. Liquid cream oil. So I want you to try. First thing, Sonia, in terms of your hair being dry, if you're doing liquid cream and oil, if you're doing that and your hair is still dry, then try another method. That's the first thing. As opposed to LCO, try LOC. Or you all, to be honest, the LCO, LOC, let me drink some water because that's a lot. Okay, y'all. So in terms of LCO, liquid cream oil, try LOC. So try your liquid, your oil, and your cream last, first of all. And then, let's see. Hold on. You got another question. Okay. All right. So I want you to switch it up. What product are you using for your LCO? So if you are, well, hold on. Let me just go ahead. Let me go ahead and back it all the way up in terms of your dry hair, in terms of your hair. First thing I want you all to know that your hair is dry and that's okay. Okay. Your hair is naturally dry. You have sebum at your scalp. The sebum that your scalp produces can't travel down your hair shaft, particularly when your hair is curly. So that's okay. So we can accept that. And also in terms, make sure that your hair is dry. Make sure that you are 100% that your hair is dry, and make sure you're not doing that based upon the way your hair looks. Just because it looks dry doesn't mean it is dry. Make sure you are checking it. Make sure you know your moisture cycle. So if you have to put moisture on your hair every day, that's okay. That is just your hair. So Sonia, if you have tried LOC, if you have tried LCO and your hair still feels dry, then you may have to moisturize it every day. What are you using to moisturize your hair? Are you using a product that contains water or aloe vera? Are you using products that contain humectants, honey, glycerin? Are you using products that contain oils or butters? What products are you using? What products are in your arsenal? What are you using? And so if you try one method and it doesn't work, I want you to flip it around. If you use both methods, and if you are using quality products, and if you feel like you have to moisturize your hair every day or put something to your hair every day, then it may be your moisture cycle. You may have to moisturize your hair every day. If you moisturize your hair on Monday morning, and your hair feels dry on Monday evening, or if your hair feels dry Monday afternoon, then that may be your product. Your hair should be able to hold on to moisture a little bit longer in general. And then also make sure you are drinking your water, you all. If our body is dehydrated, our hair is dehydrated. When we drink water, that water circulates throughout our body first to give our vital organs what it needs first. Then it goes to your hair. So if you're not drinking adequate water, let me have a little more sip, because y'all got me talking today. If you're not drinking adequate water, then it's going to affect your hair. Now, in terms of products, I don't know what you're using, Sonia, but Curl House has the juicer. Lord, we have this spray, which is designed for people with super dry hair like me. That's why I recreated the formula and I increased the moisture ingredients in it, because my hair was dry. And then I use the sealer, the moisture cream. I use them both for that reason, because my hair was dry. So the cream is a super moisture cream. People call it a miracle cream. And I have to say, y'all know I have a lot of products. I use my products and I have no problem using other people's products. I do it all day. But when it comes to moisturizing my hair, I primarily use the Curl House products. I even tried a new moisturizing product at the beginning of the year. You all, I try a lot of stuff because a lot of people ask me questions about all kinds of product lines, and I want to be knowledgeable about everything. So I tried another product line. I even did a video about it at the beginning of the year, and I used the moisturizer, and oh God, I used the whole product line, but the moisturizer, I didn't like it. And why didn't I like it, you ask? It was a great product line. I didn't like it because it didn't have glycerin in it. That moisturizer did not have an adequate amount of glycerin in it, and my hair needs glycerin. My hair needs glycerin. Okay, Pam, you said, oh, down, darn it. I don't know what you're talking about, Pam. Okay, all right. I know y'all having some conversations within the community, which is fine. Lawana wants to know, can you recommend good protein treatments? The protein treatment I recommend is by Hydrothermal Naturals. It's protein plus amino. Hydrothermal Naturals. You all, I'm in the process of creating my, I'm going to do an Amazon store so that you can go, and let me write that down. I need to do an Amazon store so that you can go to my Amazon store, and I already have the links in there, but it's by Hydrothermal Naturals. I absolutely love it. It's protein plus amino treatment, deep treatment. That's the one I recommend. Yes, there's ApoG too, ApoG, but ApoG is very strong. Which is why I caution you using that, even though I have recommended it, but it's very, very strong. ApoG is really great if you have really, really damaged hair. But the Hydrothermal Naturals is by far my favorite. Good, Momo. I'm good. You all, I don't know why this thing is getting blurry. Sorry, y'all. You're getting injections. Yeah. So of course, I know you're probably getting injections for your alopecia. You're going to work on your diet. Yeah, because I'm so glad you shared this, you all know at Curl House. I say it all the time, you all, in terms of taking this holistic approach. I want us to start seeing our hair as an extension of our body. We tend to take our hair and separate it from our body, but let's not separate it, you all. It's an extension of our body. And what happens internally affects what happens externally. So, which is why we grow differently. We're kind of flipping hair care on its head. I really promote and preach the body, scalp, and hair approach to healthy hair. Body first and hair. If something is off within the body, normally it shows up in the scalp, because the scalp is the last area to receive the nutrients. Your hair grows from the nutrients and oxygen within your blood. It feeds the scalp, but it feeds the scalp last. The hair follicle is considered non-essential. It is the last thing to receive a nutrient. Nutrients go to support your vital organs first, your brain, your heart, your liver, your pancreas, not your hair. It's non essential, which is why if you're starting to lose your hair, or if your hair is shedding, or if something is going on with your scalp, then it's a symptom of what's going on within the body. So good for you, Momo. Work on that diet. Let's grow differently in 2026 and focus on what we're eating and what we're drinking, which includes water. Okay. All right. Excuse me, you all. Hey, Charlie, my hair is natural and I stopped dyeing it. Yay! And went gray, but it will not grow and it is really dry. I'm so sorry, Charlie. Welcome to gray hair. So, what's happening? Sorry that my camera is getting blurry. I'm going to fix it later, you all. What's happening? You stopped dyeing your hair, great. It went gray and it will not grow. So, growth is internal. So, because the hair, excuse me, you all, something's in my eye. Because the hair is gray, that doesn't necessarily mean it stopped growing. What I believe is what's going on, Charlie. When you went gray, gray hair is dry, okay? Your texture changed. When you're dyeing your hair, you are coating your hair with coating your hair. So it's different. So you didn't experience the dryness because it's coated. When it's gray, the texture is different, your porosity changed. So yeah, it probably is drier. And when the hair is drier, when you don't know how to take care of dry hair, then you experience more breakage. So I recommend first a couple things. Take care of the breakage. The dryness, I recommend 2 products for dry hair. This leave-in conditioner, it's called Juicer by Curl House, and the sealer. You all, I have gray hair. I developed these products, particularly this. This is the newest product in my collection. I came out last year because I went gray and my hair started getting very gray. And Charlie, I had the very same issue you have. My hair was super dry. Even as a cosmetologist and a hair person, I've been doing hair my whole life. When my hair went gray, I was shocked. Like, oh my gosh, my texture is different. It's dry. It's breaking. OMG, what is different? I had to switch my products, which is why I created this, the Super Moisture Cream, to keep my hair hydrated longer, along with the juicer. You can find them on my website, curlhouse.com, and you can use that code YT15. But it's not that, in terms of it not growing, if your hair, if the growth slowed down, it's not necessarily because it's gray. It might be indirectly related. What happens when you go gray, your sebaceous glands, those are the glands that actually keep your hair high. I mean, those are the glands that actually produce sebum. Sebum is your hair's natural moisturizers, like a waxy substance that keeps your hair lubricated. So when you go gray, your sebaceous glands are dying off as well. So you're not producing as much sebum. So if you're not producing as much sebum, it's making the hair drier, and the scalp is drier as well. When the scalp gets too dry, that too will compromise your hair growth when the scalp is dry, which is why I encourage you all to cleanse your hair, to moisturize your hair, because when you're cleansing your hair, you're cleansing your scalp. You're keeping that scalp supple. And that's also why I have a water-based scalp serum that helps to improve growth. So if you are looking to improve growth, to speed up growth, when I say speed up growth, you can only speed up something that has been slowed down. So it's not like people say, how can I make my hair grow faster, faster, faster? The rate of growth is determined by genetics, you all. That's internal. But as we age and as our hormones change, then that causes things to change. That may cause our rate of growth to slow down. So the only thing that can speed up growth is something that has been slowed down. So if your hair growth cycle has been slowed down, there are things that you can do to speed it up. And that includes scalp massaging, applying products, plant-based botanicals that are known to stimulate growth within the scalp. So, Charlie, this is something else that you can consider. It's called the Healer Follicle Stimulating Drops that moisturizes the scalp. As I said earlier, they are water-based. It's not just water. It has like 15 botanicals in it. It also has a humectant glycerin in it that helps to moisturize the scalp and improve growth and reduce inflammation. For those women who are dealing with inflammation of the scalp, it helps to do that as well. Okay, Charlie, I hope that helped you. Make sure you moisturize that hair properly. Let's see. Zola says the lock method solved all of my problems from high porosity hair. Oh, is the lock method solve all the problems from? Okay. All right. Zode, or let's go with Zola. That's a question. Now, liquid, oil, and cream. Liquid can be water, liquid can be a leave-in conditioner, and oil, a lightweight leave-in, depending on your texture. It can be a heavier oil, and then some type of cream to lock it in. In terms of high porosity hair, high porosity hair is hair. Let's see, I always use the blinds as an example in terms of your hair pattern or your cuticle layer of your hair. The cuticle layer of your hair is open. So with high porosity hair, the open cuticle layer, let's see, if you look at those blinds, imagine those blinds are open. That will be similar to high porosity hair. That outer layer of your hair is open. So whatever you put in the hair, if you spray a leave-in conditioner, if you spray a moisturizer, it enters the hair, but it leaves it just as quickly. It moisturizes it quickly. It leaves it just as quickly. That's what I have. I have high porosity hair. So high porosity hair doesn't hold on to moisture as long. That is why it is going to be key with high porosity hair that you are putting a thicker cream or thicker butter to your hair. Hold on, you all. I got to get one thing. Okay, let's see. So that's why if you are putting with high porosity hair, if you're putting a cream, okay, if you're putting a thicker cream, you want something that's going to lock in moisture. So to be honest, LOC, LCO, I'm very familiar with it in terms of the different methods. With hair that absorbs moisture quick. Many times, I know, Charlie, you asked about gray hair. Not all gray hair is high porosity. My gray hair is high porosity. A lot of people I know who has gray hair is high porosity. So with high porosity hair, our hair gets dry really, really quickly. It's primarily the gray part. Like even when I wash my hair, the texture looks so different from everything else. But with high porosity hair, if the cuticle is open, if you take your leave-in conditioner, I don't know if you all can see this. Can y'all see this? Oh, it looks so dark. I should have put my light on. Take your moisturizing product, spray it in your hair, smooth it in. Are you smoothing in your moisturizer, you all, when you're spraying your hair? So high porosity hair, we're using Tanika as a demonstration. It's going to be very easy for it to uptake moisture. It uptakes moisture very quickly. But if you don't put something in it to lock it in, that moisture is going to dissipate very quickly, which is why you can use a thicker cream. This cream has butter in it. It has soy butter, it has mango butter, and it's a moisture cream with oil. So in terms of LOC, LCO, there are some creams that have butters already in them. So you want to lock it in by putting something thicker on the hair, particularly with high porosity hair. You want to lock it in by putting in a thicker cream. You can also add a thicker or like a castor oil. This is also depending on your texture. A thicker cream or a heavier oil that's going to lock it in to keep it moisturized longer. You'll notice a big difference in the hair when you are adding a cream and an oil. So in terms of LCO, LOC, solving all of your high porosity hair, I want you all to try it, you all. What I encourage you to do, I want you to figure out what works best for your hair. So this is what I want you all to do this week. I want you on wash day, I want you to take your products. When you wash your hair, I want you to take a small section in the back of your head. Whatever products you are using, take a small section. I want you to do two-strand twists. Or if your hair is short, you can do it at the top. On one side, put in your cream, you put in your liquid, your oil, and your cream. On the other side, put in your liquid, your cream, and your oil. Twist it up and leave it alone. And the next day, I want you to untwist it and I want you to touch it. I want you to feel it. Your hair is going to tell you what method it prefers. Let your hair be your guide. Your hair will tell you which one lasts longer. When you untwist it the next day, you feel it, you touch it, you look at your hands, you see if there's any shed hair in your hands, if it's shed hair or if it's broken hair, rather. If the hair is broken, then that means when you have a lot of broken hair, that means your hair is one of the reasons that your hair is dry. So I want you, Zola, and others on this live, you be the judge. You decide. Let your hair decide, rather, whether or not your hair needs LOC or LCO. Take your products and determine which one is better. Just do a test. Wash it. Let those twists stay in. See which one feels better. Your hair will tell you. If you're someone who you know you have a different porosity, so many times the hair back here may be a little different from what's in the front, you can try it in the front. The only reason I said in the back is because depending on how you're wearing your hair, you may be able to camouflage what's in the back, but you can do it on the side, you can do it on the front. But all I want you to do, I want you to take two pieces, test the hair. One side do LOC, the other side do LCO, or do some combination of whatever you do. Play with it. Let your hair be the judge. Okay? That makes sense? Y'all give me some thumbs up. All right. All right. Okay, let's roll. Lord, it's 1 o'clock. Oh God, I got it. Oh Lord, I got a time. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get some of these because I have decided, you all, I'm gonna start going live every week. I might go live again tomorrow night, you all, and I may be talking about something specific in that live. So I'm trying, you all, if I can't get to all your questions, I'm pretty certain I'll be live again tomorrow. Let me know if this format works for you, because I'm trying to give more to my Curl House community. So let me know if there are any topics you want me to talk about. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Let me know if there are any guests you want me to have on the show. You all, let me know. Okay, let's see. Joanna. Hey, Miss Joanna, you brought the healer. You've been using it 4 to 5. You've been using 4 to 5 drops every few days. Is that okay? Or should I use 2 to 3 drops on a daily basis? There we go. Great question. So Miss Joanna said she bought this. Great. You can use 4 to 5 drops every few days, or should I use 2 to 3 drops on? Miss Joanna, you want, in terms of the number of drops, you want enough to cover the area or areas that you are using it for. So if it's a broader area, 4 to 5 drops. If it's just the sides, then 2 to 3 drops. So it doesn't matter in terms of the number of drops. What matters most is consistency. So you want enough to cover the area. That makes sense? Enough to cover the area, and you'll be able to feel it when you're massaging it in. And on a daily basis. So what I recommend is a few drops a day. So in other words, what that means, while I say a few drops a day, you can do it either way. You can do it every other day or every day. The goal is consistency, Miss Joanna. Consistency. Hope that answers your question. Okay, you eat gluten and dairy free. Great. Still struggling with processed foods, not giving up. Yes, Wash and Go Chick. Don't give up. It takes time to make this lifestyle change. I totally get it. You said you're eating dairy free. That helps. Gluten free. That helps. Processed foods, you all, processed foods has absolutely no nutritional value. No nutritional value. Most rather has no nutritional value. Let me not say all. But processed foods, you do get most nutritional value out of whole foods and vegetables. It is whole foods, lean meats. That's where you get the most nutrition out of whole foods. Anybody interested in hearing from a plant-based specialist? Just curious. If so, drop it down. Anybody? 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 Curious? Okay. All right. Rice water moisturizer. I'm not familiar with this moisturizer, Miss Sonia. Just look at the ingredients. Look at the ingredients. Does it have humectants? So in terms of products, if you've tried everything that you can try, then I don't say immediately switch moisturizers, because I know we can be product junkies and we may have everything we need. So it may not be the product, it may be your application of the product. But if you went through that list that I discussed earlier, then you may want to switch moisturizers if you've tried it. Okay. I see you have a few other. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But hey there. I don't know what that means. You going to the shop when this is over. Okay, you said you're going to the shop when this is over. Okay. Hey, brother man. Hey, brother man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, fairy knots. What you can do for fairy knots. Fairy knots are also called, what are they called? Fairy knots, single strand knots. Oh, it's a couple of things that you can do for single strand knots. No, for single strand knots. Single strand knots are, the more hair you have, the more knots you have. So that's one thing. No, the more hair you have, the longer your hair is, the more knots you have. What you can do for them, I would first recommend you do a pre-poo before you cleanse your hair. Put in a coconut oil, babasu oil before you cleanse your hair to properly detangle your hair. That's the first thing. The second thing I would do for single strand knots, if you're getting a lot of them, make sure that you're getting your ends cleansed regularly. Make sure you are getting your make sure you're getting your ends trimmed rather regularly. Trim ends. If you don't have trimmed ends, the ends of your hair is split. And when your hair sheds, your hair is going to naturally shed. And when it naturally shed, that shed strand is going to get stuck, caught up at the bottom of your hair because the end is split. So that is why you want to make sure you are getting your ends trimmed. And then the third thing, in terms of minimizing those single strand knots, you can do an oil rinse. So after you shampoo your hair, after you shampoo and condition your hair, rinse your conditioner out, and then put oil. You can put an oil at the ends, or that's an oil rinse. Make sure that you're putting the oil at the ends. It can also get on your hair, and then rinse it out. So what that's going to do is going to leave a little bit of oil left on your scalp. And what that provides, it provides the lubrication or the slip. So when your hair sheds, it's not going to stick to the adjacent hair. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And that's the third thing, oil rinse. The fourth thing is to make sure that you are oiling the ends of your hair. Make sure that you are oiling the ends of your hair. Again, you want slip. So you don't want the shed hair. Again, the shed hair is natural, but you don't want that shed hair to attach to the ends of your hair. You want it to, after the hair sheds, if your hair is curly, most times the hair doesn't just fall out. So we get these single strand knots. Unlike our straight hair, when our hair shed, it just fell on out because it was straight. Curly hair has too many bends and turns, so it's going to get caught up on its way down trying to leave the hair shaft. That's why that's why it gets stuck at the end. So again, I would do a pre-poo. I would make sure I get my trims regularly. I would do an oil rinse, putting oil in the hair on wash day and rinsing it out. And I would also make sure I keep the ends of my hair oiled. Let's see. turmeric do I recommend? What brand and how much? It's by Stonehenge. I am going to create this Amazon store, you all, of everything that I recommend. I'm going to create it. Stonehenge. It's not the cheapest turmeric, because remember, you all, when you're getting capsules, you want to be mindful of when you're putting in your body. You want to make sure that what you get is what you get. But Stonehenge is the one that I get. Stonehenge, Stonhedge. Stonehenge, and you can find it on Amazon. Hydrothermal Naturals is the protein conditioner I recommend. It is a cream. Hydrothermal Naturals. Is it better to roller set on wet hair or dry hair? I roller set on wet hair because when the hair is wet, that's when it is flexible. When the hair is wet and then you roll it up after it dries, it takes on that shape. So it's the water in the hair that breaks up the bonds of your hair to reshape it, which is why you can do it on wet hair. However, if you're doing it yourself, it may be easier for you to blow dry your hair out, then put mousse on it, which is still water, which is still wet. But regardless, don't do it on bone dry hair because that ain't doing nothing. You can do it on wet hair. That's great. But if it's harder for you to do it when your hair is wet, you can blow it out some, then put the mousse on it to wet it some. But make sure it is wet. Make sure it has moisture. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything. Okay. All right. Whoo, y'all. I don't think I can get to everything, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sweets. I appreciate that. Thank you. I didn't even know you all can do that. Thank you all for sewing into me. I appreciate it. I don't even know what it's called. You know, I just do this stuff because I love it, but I appreciate the gift. Thank you for sewing into me. All right, let's see. I'm going to do 5 more minutes and then I'm wrapping up, and I will be back tomorrow. I'm coming back tomorrow. Does this 12 o'clock time? This is 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Does this work for you all? I think I'm gonna go live tomorrow night. So, okay, I do hear some people saying they want to hear about a plant-based diet. I have a plant-based doctor that I work with. She's all things plant-based. She helps people to reverse their illnesses by eating plant-based. So I'm going to talk about that. Let's see. And I am about to wrap up. What's the benefit between twist and braids? There's no benefit. It's just preference. If you're talking about twist and braids with the hair in terms of the style, 2-strand twist are fuller. They're twisting 2 strands is the twist is fuller than a braid. If you're going to take it out, it's just the way the hair looks when you take it out. And I'm not sure, Moonchild, if you're talking about with or without weave. I'm talking about with the natural hair. It's just preference. It's no benefit. So a twist, a braid is tighter. If you do a braid out, you'll have more crinkles. If you do a twist out, you'll have more waves depending on the size. But it's no benefit to either one, really. It's just your preference. Which one do you prefer? And I'm going to take one more question, and then let's see. Monique, after washing, deep conditioning, and applying a leave-in conditioner, can I seal and twist with hair grease as long as I start an inch or so above the scalp? Or do you suggest a cream instead? Okay, so you can seal and twist. So if you put in a leave-in conditioner is moisturizing. So I would ask Miss Monique, in terms of a cream instead, you can do whichever one works best for your hair. A leave-in conditioner is that. It is conditioning. Now, from my experience, creams hold a little more moisture. So if you're going to twist your hair, you can definitely seal with the hair grease regardless and start away from the scalp, which is good. But you can creams tend to give you a little more moisture than leave-ins. So it all depends on your hair texture. If you are someone with a finer hair texture and you don't want to use a heavy cream to weigh your hair down, that's fine. It all depends on what leave-in conditioner that you are using. Some leave-in conditioners, again, they're very hydrating. They're very hydrating, and that may be all you need, but creams tend to give a little more moisture in general. So, but what I suggest, Miss Monique, as I said earlier, I want your hair to tell you what it prefers. So when you do your wash and your deep condition, use your leave-in conditioner, use your grease. Oh, you can even test it. This time you can do your whole head with the leave-in, but in one little small section, put a cream in it and put your grease in. And then in a day or two, check it to see which one holds best. So that is what I want us to do in 2026. I want your hair to tell you what it likes, what it prefers. So do both, but test it. Okay. Okay, you all. I could keep talking. I can keep going. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. Let me see. You know how I do. I will be back. I'm 99% certain I'm going to be back tomorrow evening. I think I'm going to start doing this. And I think I might do this once a week, just with the live question and answers. Tomorrow I'll probably have something more prepared. But I think I'll probably start doing this once a week. I think Tuesday at 12, that might work for me. So I'm still trying to figure out a schedule, but thank you all for joining me. Want to give a shout out to Misty. Love that hairstylists are learning. Welcome, Misty. Welcome, fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. If you all have not liked my YouTube channel, like my YouTube channel, you all. I am on the road to 100,000 this year. I will be turning 50 in August. And I want for my 50th birthday to have reached 100,000 subscribers, you all. So if you have not liked or subscribed to my channel, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you are interested in the Curl House products, you all, this is a Curl House product line that I designed 6 years ago that was designed to support your hair growth. I designed the products to moisturize the hair and the scalp. I designed this to stimulate growth. But you all know healthy hair begins within, so you get best results when you're using products, when you are taking a holistic approach to your healthy hair growth. So you all can go to curlhouse.com and check out some of the hair products that I designed for hair growth and for moisturized, hydrated hair. Use code YT15, YT15 for 15% off. And join my list. You'll get a pop-up that will tell you to join my email listserv, because I send out emails too as well. And I send out other stuff on email. Okay, you all. I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to come up for air. I will be back later on this week, more than likely tomorrow. Okay, all right. You all have a good day. Have a fabulous day. Stay fabulous. Grow differently. And love you guys. Bye.